Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Awak Priestess here, and welcome to today's video. Um, so basically, I wanted to make this video. I don't know what the title of it is. It's gonna be kind of like me catching up with you guys type of situation, a catch up slash. I do want to share that I am having an awakening, and I did say when I went live today, earlier today, that I wanted to share that with you because I do feel like my practice is changing. So yeah, grab a cup of tea, coffee, whatever it is, so that you can relax and kind of listen to some things that I feel very spiritually inclined to change, not just in my like spiritual practice, but also content, just certain things of that nature. But before we get started, if you feel called to, you can support my channel by subscribing to my channel and also liking my videos, hitting the notification button so you can know when I upload, and also giving a comment. That's all free ways you can support my channel. Also, if you want to support my channel, you can become a member. The link is in the description bar of this video. And also, I am a full-time reader and spellcaster, mentor, and so much more. You can go to my website, shamanic.priestess.com, and there you can buy my spiritual services. Right now I'm having so today is December 10th of 2024, and I am having a 3-day sale. So feel free, if you want to purchase a reading with me, feel free to do so as well. It's half off my tarot readings. Okay, so this is going to be a get ready with me video, chatty video type of video that we're going to be doing. So so for those of you that don't know, I practice closed practice religious practices. Okay, I will want to make, and I am going to make an in-depth video of. There's this trend that I keep seeing going around, that's like from witch or new age to Christian, and I'm the opposite. I was from a fundamentalist Christian, specifically Pentecostal background, from the age of 9 to the age of, I'm going to say, 25. I was Pentecostal. Then on my 25th year, I was called into a different path, and I started working with my mom. She started mentoring me, and then I got godparents outside of her, multiple mentors. And from the age of 25 till now, I am currently 45, going on 46 in April. I have been on this path. So that's, if you do the math, it will be my 21st year of practicing spirituality on a full-time basis. I went from, espiritismo. My mom is a Catholic witch. She does spell work, but she's also a devoted Catholic. She wasn't always a devoted Catholic, but um, after my kids were born and years later, after she got older, she became a Catholic, because my mom most of her life had an aversion to um, organized religion and things like that. But she still does spiritual stuff. She still sages. She still does that stuff. And she knows I do full-time readings and stuff like that. So she's not the type of Christian that, like, oh my goodness, tarot readings evil, nothing like that. So yes, I know multiple people. Oh, the spirits are here. I can hear them ringing on this ear. Um, Basically, like, for me, it's never been so, like I said, this is a get ready with me video, so I'm going to be getting ready to start my readings for the night. So you're just gonna watch me do that, because I really wanted to make this video. And so basically, my mom, like I said, I always grew up with her, even when she didn't identify as a Catholic, like doing Catholic prayers and things like that. So um, for me, like, I can still celebrate like Christmas, and I don't see like that as a conflict of interest. And I don't have issues with anybody in the Abrahamic religion, as long as they don't impede on my rights. But yeah, I don't identify as Christian, and I want to make a video kind of going more into depth about that, deep dive kind of thing, at a later date. But yeah, basically, I don't see anything weird about, you can be a witch Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday you go to church. I grew up like that my whole life. I would see people, doing animal sacrifices, and then go to church on Sunday. So I had people, practice Santeria, and, like I said, and then go to church on Sunday, or things like that. So that to me, is pretty normal. Um, I just don't tend to identify as Christian myself. But again, I want to make a video more in depth about why I particularly, um, don't really identify as Christian. Okay. Again, nothing against the religion. I just don't consider myself a Christian, but I do believe in God. I do Psalms magic. I do, Bible magic. I do, do Christian prayers, the Our Father, the, Hail Mary, the glory be to God, and all that kind of stuff. So I do work with that. I have performed exorcisms, so I do those things. But even with that, I don't practice the religion of Christianity. I practice the religion of Haitian Voodoo. But when I first started with my mom, I was doing espiritismo, and then, it evolved to, I started getting a calling, but I didn't understand what the calling was. So I kind of dibbled and dabbled, and you guys know, like, I was initiated, like, I received, um, some of my orishas younger, things like that. I've already said all those stories, so I don't want to go into all of that. But when I say calling, like voluntarily being called, but I didn't know what direction I was being called into, and I didn't know what the name of it was. And so then I started dabbling with, like, paganism and Wicca and things like that. But unfortunately, it didn't resonate with me. Like, I didn't feel culturally tied to it. I didn't see myself in the god and goddesses, that normally is worked with, within those traditions, and it just wasn't my calling. Um, so, I have bought books and things like that. I did, participate in some Sabbaths and things like that, but it just, again, did not call to me. um, I realized that I was being called to work with the Orishas, because at that time, before I started, doing Wicca, I was a professional reader. I was working a lot with angels and saints, folk saints and things like that. And it just, because I was working with saints and stuff, that I think that's why, like, paganism didn't work for me. um, I believe in, like, one main God, whatever you believe that to be. So it just didn't, like, correlate with my belief system or my practice, or I didn't feel any cultural ties to that. So I started practicing Santeria since I had already been initiated when I was younger. I just didn't know at the time. And the Orisha started calling to me, so I started working with them. I work with the seven African powers and five main Orishas that I work with on a consistent basis. And, they came to me little by little, because, before that, I was working with my Taino, spirit guide, my angels, archangels, different types of angels, and La Madama was already present in my life. I worked with not only my India, there was a female spirit guide also of indigenous descent that was an ancestor spirit. So through these main three spirits, they started bringing in the Orishas, and they started speaking with me. And so my, spiritual practice started to evolve. And then from there, um, once I did what I had to do with the, spiritual practice and the religion of Santeria, I grew as much as I could, and then I felt stagnant. I felt like stuck. And that's when, I started to be called to work in Haitian Voodoo. And it was just so nice how it happened, because at the time, I met a beautiful soul that's family to me, that needed mentorship in Santeria. I needed mentorship in Haitian Voodoo, just to connect and everything, even though I have people that have worked the Voodoo tradition. They brought me the right teacher. I've said that story again, so I'm not going to elaborate too much how that came about. But We exchanged memberships. I became the goddaughter of her parent, and so on and so forth. And eventually led to me becoming a mambo. And after the orishas, it pretty much stood there. My divination styles have also evolved throughout the years. Like I've always said so many times, I started on playing cards, felt like it wasn't marketable, and I worked with the other deck that I'm going to show you. So then I went from playing cards. This is the form of divination that I used from the first time that I did professional readings. Okay. So the other day I was on live and I made a mistake. So I have been reading professionally since 2011, but the person was right. I went back into my search history on Amazon, and this was purchased um 2 years after what I said. So they were right. I did start professionally reading at the psychic hotline in 2013. But I had been doing house readings because remember I always tell you you should practice. So I was doing that at home. I was doing in-person at home reading, which is the way that I always saw people doing it. I would do free readings on Facebook, and also I would have people that would pay me, money here and there and that kind of thing. So I kind of honed in on my reading skills for 2 years prior to me. I didn't even know that they had a website where you can go and do professional readings and stuff like that because I always seen it at home, which I do like the fact that now it's more mainstream, so we can read people from all over the world, and the internet has been a blessing to me in that sense. But yes, so I was doing more local readings, that type of thing. Then I went to the website in 2013. So thank you for that, girl. And yes, me and this person go back since 2013. So there, a little bit of a disclaimer and correction. So they were my first client on the psychic hotline, but I had clients prior to that. But this was the deck that I was using since 2013. So if you do the math, that's 11 years. And I've used it on and off, things like that. But eventually, because I used this like throughout the whole time I was doing readings in the psychic hotline, and then about the third year, second to third year, I was being called to use the deck that I saw when I had my first professional reading that wasn't playing cards. It wasn't a family member, it was a reading that a person that we paid for to read us. They were using some type of deck, I didn't know what it was. Found online community, the tarot community, and then found out it's called Rider Waite. I was scared of the devil card, so this doesn't really have a scary devil card. So, and I think that had to do a lot with me leaving like that dogma, that being Pentecostal and the religious trauma that specific religion, that specific church that I was a part of, caused me. So I was like, oh, I don't want to work with anything that has like Satan, imagery or whatever. So that's why I worked with more of a like Robin Woods, you know, and things like that. And another deck that I can't think of, it's like a pastel color deck. I can't think of the name right now, but I worked with like Rider Waite clones. Eventually evolved to Morgan Greer, Hanson Roberts, which I used to talk about so much when I first started my channel. Wheel of the Year was a deck that I had, and then I all of a sudden connected to it. So from there, then I was drawn to, we want you to work with Rider Waite Smith. And if you watch my channel, I have been obsessed with Pamela Coleman Smith. I mean, I did a live and showed you that I have an actual shrine that's dedicated to Pamela Coleman Smith. She is such an important spirit guide and spiritual part of my practice. I love her so much. I will always love Rider Waite Smith. I have so many Rider Waite Smith, Rider Waite Smith clone-like decks. This is the one for I think the Winter Waite or Santa's Hope or something like that deck that I have going on here. And I love working with it, every Christmas and stuff like that. It's gorgeous. And I still read with this deck. I'm still called to work with this deck. You can see how beat up the deck is. However, recently, the spirits have been, for the last week or so, have been really calling me at this time period. I don't know if that's a permanent thing or not, I have not been using this deck that much in the last year. So 2024 has not been a this deck. I have been using various kinds of, so I'll switch out my Right Away Smith, whether it's clone or something like that, every month. So I have 12 main decks that I've worked with throughout this year. However, more and more I've been using this less, right? I'm not even using Oracle anymore, really, only on rare occasions. And I've been drawn to just go back to the playing cards. And it's just been amazing. You have no idea, like, the connection that my spirit guides have with this deck. I love this deck. It just, not this particular deck, but just playing cards in general, that they just speak to me. And I've just been getting amazing readings, and the spirits told me, like, I want you to cover your hair. And that's something I used to do before, and I didn't really do it that much. But lately, like, and I think it has a lot to do with, so in my culture, we believe that spirits possess you through the head. The spirits have been so strong, especially like this last week or two, where again they're like really speaking to me through the playing cards, and things like that. Like they just been really strong. And you know, I like when I started this video, like my ears were ringing, like I can feel spirit. I've been doing readings where I'm just doing a regular tarot reading and a family member pops out, or some type of crazy information, or like the other day somebody's exact name just came to me, while I was, doing a reading, and they kind of got scared because, like, hey, how do you know about such and such person? You know, it wasn't like, oh, they start with a J. It was like a actual, exactly how this person is named and stuff like that. So I've definitely been having an awakening. I've been going live more, interacting with you guys, really going intuitively with the times that Spirit is like, hey, go live, even if nobody's on the live. Like, I want you to speak on this topic, and I want you to speak on that topic. I don't know what Spirit has in store for me, or what my ancestors, why they're leading me to be more open about certain opinions, or having very frank talks. I mean, the other day I went live, I was cursing, something that I've never really done on here. But it's just, that's what Spirit wants me to do. You know, Spirit has been like, hey, start a movement, and things like that. There's some things I'm not going to share yet, until they come into fruition, but there are some big changes coming. I've had a lot of people ask me about, becoming my godchildren. That is something that is a goal of mine in 2025, along with other goals that I have, as far as building spiritual community, as far as different services that Spirit is inspiring me to give. This is the time when we need spiritual people the most. I have been so honored to help a lot of people get into their spiritual calling and path. I won't say this person's business. I had someone that was giving me a testimonial about, after connecting with me, and inspiration, and how they've connected to a specific spirit, and how, what the beautiful things they're doing for the community, that I literally was crying in the reading. I was a proud mama bear. I am so proud of the people that I've been able to mentor or inspire, to kind of do their own unique spiritual path. One of those spirits that I'm so proud that I talked about years ago, and I was so afraid to talk about, was La Madama. I thought, I know in the West she's not seen the same way as we see her in the Caribbean. And so I remember bringing out her image and thinking people were going to think I'm racist. Look at this biracial girl bringing this racist statue to YouTube and things like that, because I know in America they will say, oh, that's a mammy, in a derogatory way. But, La Madama is such a great spirit. I love to see how people are starting to connect with her and see her as this amazing spirit, and see the excitement people feel when when La Madama calls to work with them. So I love that. And I love seeing how people that they've taken my classes, or they've had a mentorship reading with me, and I've taught them how to work with this specific spirit, how she's changed so many lives. Or people that have built an ancestor altar. I've loved to hear how my clients have evolved in their spiritual path, or how a reading that I gave somebody changed their life. And so I'm just, if there's a washing machine in the background, I apologize, but I need to do laundry this week, because literally when I say none of us had clean clothes, because I've been working so much, that's why you'll notice, like, I'm so much more available lately, because I've been really working hard to be as available as possible, because I feel like people need spirituality the most at this time. This current climate and environment. A lot of people are hexed, cursed. There's a lot of like not good spirits around, and things like that, and just needing mentorship and guidance and inspiration to keep moving forward, and so much more. So I understand that I am needed at this time, just like other spiritual people as well. So I'm trying to do that now that my kids are older and I have more time and things like that. But that's neither here nor there. But yes, I've just been learning to trust in spirits. I do feel better about covering my head now, because when I was having this awakening, it started in the season of like August, and then it's really been very strong, because it kind of pulled back in the middle ending of November, and then the spirits are really strong again. Um, I tend to feel like I have less migraines, because I was getting a lot of migraines to the point where they had to up my migraine medication. So since I've been covering my head feels better. So I feel like it's also like spirit wants me to protect myself to a certain extent. So I don't know how long you're going to see me with head wraps, but for now, that's what spirit wants me to do. Um, I've noticed how spirit is really wanting me to step up my personal rituals for myself. I do rituals for everybody else. And sometimes when you are a full time spiritualist, we tend to neglect our own spiritual health, or our own spell casting for ourselves, or our own workings for ourselves. So I've been picking that up as well, like working on me spiritually, energetically healing myself, kicking up the amount of spiritual baths that I need to do, because I feel like all of us sometimes we tend to get comfortable, or we go through these bouts of like when we're really into spirituality and then we kind of pull back, and I've gone through those cycles. We're human. But mine's is more so because I'm always doing things for other people. I sometimes forget myself, like my cup runneth over, So learning how to set time for myself, for spiritual self care. Okay, so that really has been a lot of what I've been doing. So less tools, just kind of walking with. I don't really buy, like, I don't do a lot of unboxings. There's nothing to unbox. As you watch my channel, I did get the Spirit Box Voodoo Tarot. I did do a couple of readings with that. It did read well for me, but I'm gonna be honest, I haven't done a deep enough dive. I do want to do an in-depth review of that deck, but I have just been called to go back to what my great grandmother and my ancestors would use, which is just playing cards, is what I do the spirit court readings with and mediumship with. So I've always done more spiritual channel based readings with these, and then tarot more for the everyday tarot reading. But lately, it's just been this guy. It's just been this guy. Like, that's what the spirits have been calling me to use. So I'm just gonna keep listening to them. There has to be a reason or a purpose. I don't know if I'm gonna permanently, read playing cards and then possibly even walk away from, not really use tarot anymore. I don't know. I'm just kind of allowing spirit to dictate what I need to do, and things like that. They inspired me to make a sale, so I made the sale. Spirit's like, and then people were like, hey, I needed this sale. I'm going through financial dire situations. People that haven't read with me in a month or two, whatever. So I was like, oh, that's what happened to such and such. I was worried. So they've made their appointments and stuff like that. So again, it's trusting spirit. They told me, my guides, hey, change the memberships. So I did that, and I added some lives and some different types of tarot reading instead of, pick a pile more personal. In some cases, depending on the level, I actual question. And they've been inspiring me to go live more. They're inspiring me to branch out and do other channels, which I will be doing and linking those. I just have to find the time to script those videos and things like that. But I'm really, really excited about the ASMR. I'm excited about the political one, but I feel like the ASMR one is going to be one of the first ones to come through. So I'm excited. I'm going to literally leave the link so you guys can follow me on the new channel that I'm going to be creating for that. And yeah, and then Spirit wanted me to go back on Facebook, which is also another weird thing. So I'm like, okay, I got to go back on Facebook, which I need to post a sale and on that, and I didn't do yet. So I will be, using that to kind of, hey, if you want to watch this video, be a member, and just advertise, but also engage. I don't have that many people as my contacts or friends on Facebook. But my Facebook is literally Shamanic Ayawak Priestess, same professional name that I use for my email, Skype, everything is tied to that. But yeah, so that I've not been inspired to do Instagram. I try to do a TikTok, and I just could not understand how to do a TikTok video. It was very confusing for me. I got discouraged or whatever, so I kind of like stopped doing it. I know a lot of people go on TikTok and they get huge followings and they blow up and stuff, but I tried to go on there and it just wasn't doing it for me. So maybe at a later time. But then again, they're trying to take TikTok out of America anyway, so TikTok is kind of going through its thing. I don't really feel called to do Instagram, but I wouldn't mind joining TikTok. I think I just have to see what happens in this new year and what's if somebody's gonna bite over and blah blah blah, and then also I need to learn how to navigate it. But I definitely do, like I said, want to make ASMR. ASMR has been such a pivotal part of my life. I get insomnia when I have anxiety. I do like to watch a lot of like pampering ASMR, so like people taking care of you type of role play, and I love the spiritual ones and stuff like that. So I love anything with self care, like brushing your hair, making someone a tea, doing their makeup, things like that. So I don't really do the ones that have like a storyline. Sarcastic girl at the store, like I don't really do those. I do more like in my real life, I'm not that pampered, so I like to be pampered, right? I'm a caretaker. I take care of my children. I take care of my clients. I take care of, and so in the ASMR world, I get to be the one that gets pampered, and I love that. I am learning to pamper myself. I've gotten better, but still. As far as my health journey, I still, you have noticed that I lost weight. Thank you for all the compliments that I'm getting. November was kind of a stagnant month for me. Didn't really lose too much in November. Like in the beginning, I was losing a lot, like mad weight, mad weight. But that happens a lot in on a health journey. Like sometimes it becomes stagnant. Also, November was a very emotional month. I had like 2 weeks where I wasn't really doing what I could be doing, but then I'm like, okay, we need to heal and move forward, and that's what I did. And I got back on track. But I did struggle for a couple of weeks in November, and that had to do a lot with the political climate and just a lot of little things here and there. So, but I said, that's not going to help anybody. So, and things like that. So, but that's basically all I wanted to say on this video is pretty much that, my divination journey has been changing. Um, my spiritual path, like I'm trying to do more stuff, for myself. I'm doing more spiritual baths. I do less intricate things now. I just more like I'm just more called to like the roots and bones of things. It doesn't bother me anymore when I see videos like from witch to Christian or whatever like that. None of that doesn't bother me because I'm just gonna say this: when something is your calling, you stay in it and you don't stray from it. So I feel like sometimes that just wasn't their calling. Like maybe practicing New Age or witchcraft or Ifa or Santeria or Voodoo or whatever was something that they were supposed to do for an experience for a temporary period, but their true calling was something else. And then some people just get scared or pressured into going back to Christianity. And some people genuinely just feel like they have a calling to that resonates with them more, that makes sense for them more. They need that connection with Yahweh, Jehovah, God, that kind of thing. I am very happy where I'm at because I have never been more happier than when I left church and got into the religion that I practice now, which is Haitian Voodoo. That is really mainly the religion that I practice. I still practice Santeria, but if I'm honest, like if I had to use one word, I would say I'm a voodoo witch, you know what I'm saying? So that's really more heavily what I practice. That's what resonates with me, and things like that. I'm going to continue to make content about my spiritual path, and there might be some changes coming up with the channel, but it will always stay what it always been: uniting the diaspora, education, speaking out on social issues. I'm always going to be that girl, that person, but I'm going to be adding things here and there and experimenting and trying to go live more, both for members and for subscribers, and things like that. So there's going to be a lot of great content coming up, both in the memberships and the main channel. So please stay subscribed and share my channel and all those wonderful things. I love our little community that we have. I love my subscribers. I love the people that support me. I have a great, beautiful spiritual community that I've been able to build through the spirits. Well, that's it for this video. If you want a one-on-one reading with me, shamanic@whitepriestess.com, shamanic@whitepriestess.com. Let me know that you watched this whole video by putting a orange heart next to a red heart. And I will start doing again the giveaway. We're going to have a giveaway. I'm not going to let you know what it is. We're going to have another giveaway. So if you put that emoji, it'll let me know you watched the video. Make sure you do a random comment like great video or thanks or whatever. Or you could just put a thumb up with the 2 hearts. That way people don't cheat and pretend to watch the whole video, and then I enter them in the drawing, and then you who actually watched the video doesn't get credit. You know what I mean? That you raise their chances of winning when you're the one that actually watched the video. So don't cheat yourself in that way. But much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and until the next video. And thank you for helping me get ready to do my readings. As you see, I put my jewelries on and everything, so I am going to start my readings now. Bye, guys.